Pakistan is a home to around 188 million people, of which women make up about the half of the population. That being said, a report from the World Economic Forum, published in 2015, that Pakistan has ranked as the second worst in the world in regards to the gender equality. Many of these issues, of course, are the result of the Islamic influence and the Sharia law. However, women's rights and Islam did not always clash. Since Pakistan's independence in 1947 until around 1977, the leaders had envisioned a nation where men and women were equal. Women were also protected by several counsels from men who tried to use Islam as an excuse to gain the upper hand in society and within their homes. This has changed drastically as General Zia-ul-Haq took power in 1978 and imposed his vision of Islam on the Pakistani people. That meant that hudud, ordinances, and Sharia law, which means that Quranic punishment should be enforced in their literal form and should not be interpreted, but following the Quran in such a way also has given children to marry.
Another way inequality manifests itself is in the opportunity for education in Pakistan for girls. Hey, did you know that this country is ranked 141st out of 142nd countries in terms of opportunity for women? This is so low, for Pakistan is the sixth most populated country in the world. Even though girls' enrollment in primary and secondary schools has improved in the past 10 years, it still remains way below the stats for boys. For example, more than 50% of girls in rural areas do not attend primary school, and more than 75% drop out before secondary school. There are many reasons why girls don't continue their schooling. Many are too poor. Others are too set in cultural traditions that do not value girls' learning. And sadly, in some areas, there are no schools for them to attend, even if they wanted to. Well, why should we do something about this inequality? Well, a new report shows that the return of an investment in girls' education is higher than that of a boy's, because a girl will influence generations. Helping girls get better education will allow them to earn more, to be healthier, to teach their own siblings and eventually their own children. Malala Yousafzai is a young Pakistan girl who has become a leader and a spokesperson in this fight. Although she was almost killed by the Taliban for voicing her beliefs, she has miraculously recovered and become the youngest recipient of the Nobel Peace Prize in 2014. She is helping other girls overcome barriers that keep them from becoming educated.
Pakistani women are affected by Islamic ideas and tradition. The Prophet Muhammad has said that the question of knowledge is binding on all Muslims, both men and women, without any discrimination. Pakistan still oppresses women. Muslim women are not allowed to work outside of their homes. However, if we would like to look at Hadija bint Khuwaylid, who was the first woman to convert to Islam and was also the wife of the Prophet Muhammad, she was a merchant by profession. If it was against the norms and traditions of Islam for women to work professionally, then why would the wife of the Prophet who first preached Islam be a merchant? We can find examples when Pakistani people follow some rules or Islamic traditions without any understanding. These are some of the traditions for women that exist in modern Pakistan. Women do not work outside the home, women marry young, there is no birth control, or women can be forced to read books. Religion is a big part of life for any Pakistani person, women and men. Women have a problem becoming educated. They are not able to read about their religion and to understand everything. They are doing what has traditionally been done.
Study showed that women made up 48.65% of the population in Pakistan, which is around 85 million women. Of those 85, only 12.5 million women are employed in some way or another, as compared to around 45 million men employed in this country. This is not a surprising number when you realize that Pakistan is the second worst country when it comes to gender inequality. Though these numbers have increased over the last 10 years, this country still has a long ways to go before it can call itself equal in the gender department. So why is the country struggling? A lot of the damage is self-inflicted due to its past. Most of the women are not educated enough to hold high-up jobs due to the fact that they were not given the opportunity to learn in school like the men were growing up. That is not saying the women are not smart, just were not given the same opportunity to gain knowledge or social skills. Because of this, even the women who do work are forced to work at low-skilled, low-paying jobs. So what can Pakistan do to dig itself out of a hole? They'll have to start paying more attention to the training and education of their women. They'll have to start allowing free education for women at least through high school level education. For women beyond high school education, they need to start vocational training institutes so that they can be trained in skills and allow for in-job training, giving women the opportunity to receive promotions and growing in the workforce. This would be a huge step for women as well as the economy. One organization known as the Home-Based Women Workers Federation is making big steps in bringing rights to the working women. Having Saeed Murad Ali Shah just signed a policy stating that the 5 million home-based women workers can now register as workers and access benefits from the government. These are women who work in their home doing anything like making jewelry and garments to making shoes and stitching footballs, usually working 10-hour days to have their sellers bargain the goods for almost nothing. One of the hopes for this policy will allow them to demand for basic pay for their goods, which will give them fair pay for their hard work.
Marriage is an immense part of women's lives in Pakistan. The average age of marriage for women is 21, but sometimes they could be married at 15 or younger. Sometimes they can choose who they marry, but in most cases they are married to a man of their parents' choosing, and staying married to them is vital to their reputation. Divorce can tarnish a woman's reputation, and she will no longer be respected. This often means that women will stay in an abusive relationship, or in the most severe cases, would rather commit suicide than get a divorce. There are plenty of happy marriages, however, and women often find joy in serving their husbands and children. If young women become widows, they are encouraged to get remarried as quickly as possible, but there is no dishonor in being a widow. The former husband's brother or father can marry the widow or simply take care of her, for when a woman marries a man, she also marries the husband's family. As we have learned from reading the I Am Malala book, the main role of women in Pakistan is to do housework and cook for their children and husbands. Some women in Pakistan feel that their husband has ownership over them, and they should have their husband's permission before performing an activity. Most women will remain in the home, but sometimes women will help with earning income.